Dash cameras are killing your battery. Or are they? We're going to dive right into low battery protection of a dash camera. We have Thinkware, Viofo, IROAD, FineVu, and Blackvue. We're going to show you how when we set all of them at 12 volts low battery protection, how long it takes for them to shut off, what voltage it needs to be at for it to shut off, and explain to you how low battery protection works. Let's go. So let's talk about how you need to hook up a dash camera for low battery protection to work. So first things first, if you have a Blackvue, Thinkware, IROAD, FineVu dash camera, typically, as you can see here, it's got a barrel style connector and 3 wires at the end, right? Which this here is your ignition, yellow is your constant power, and black is your ground. These all need to be hooked up. There's already fuse holders in line, typically on all these harnesses, protecting it, so you don't need to worry about, having the correct fuse or anything in line, which is great. So this gets all hooked up, and then digitally through the app of these units, which you can see here popping up on the screen for Thinkware, IROAD, Blackvue, and FineVu, you can digitally select the voltage for it to actually shut down. So for low battery protection. Now for Viofo, it's a little bit different. For Viofo, we have the 3 wires again, right, which we were just talking about. So we have the red wire is actually constant power, so it's actually different on the Viofo dash camera. Yellow is ignition, and black is ground. And the one thing I don't like about the Viofo hardwire cable is you can see here, there's no fuses. None at all. So majority of do-it-yourselfers are using fuse taps, which I'm pretty sure some of you have seen these before, right? A lot of times people buy these kits online. So when we're dealing with the fuse taps, you have to put your own fuse in. And what we use, personally, what we've sourced, we use 2 amp fuses. Okay? We're trying to still source 1 amp fuses, but 2 amp fuses I think is about the safest way that we can do it right now. But a lot of people are using like 10 amp, 20 amp fuses for the dash camera. You have to remember, these dash cameras are only drawing about half an amp of current. So having a 10 amp or 20 amp fuse is not protecting the circuit of the dash camera at all. And like I just shown you, there is absolutely no fuses in line. So typically what we do, I'm just going to grab one here. To be safe, we actually use these fuse holders here. So we actually cut them off, we solder them in line, and then we actually insert our own little fuse in line. That way it's properly protected. And we solder all our connections as well. So very important when it comes down to safety of installing for low battery protection. Now, explaining how low battery protection works on a Viofo dash cam. So you do have this here, as you can see, as I have it upside down. So it has 11.8, 12, 12.2, and 12.4 volts. So you actually just change this selector switch and it'll actually change what your low battery protection is. And if it drops below that set voltage, the dash camera will shut off. So for instance, on a Viofo dash cam, you don't select it through the menu like the other 4 dash cams I listed. Instead, you actually select it through this little box right here. So now we're actually going to dive right in and show you how all 5 of these units did with low battery protection. So we're putting the Thinkware U3000 into parking mode by switching the ignition off, and then we're going to drop the voltage.
Parking recording will now start.
So now we've dropped the voltage down to 11.9 volts, And we're going to find from our testing that about 6 minutes after we've dropped the voltage down to 11.9 volts, the dash camera shuts off. And there you go. No current draw. Dash camera is completely shut off now. So we have the IROAD dash camera set up, and we're going to put it into parking mode and then drop the voltage on this dash camera.
Entering parking mode.
Drop the voltage down to 11.9 volts, and 10 minutes later, sitting at 11.9 volts, the dash camera does shut off to protect the battery of the car.
System shutting down to protect battery.
Recording. One channel started.
So we're going to go and switch the ignition off and put the Viofo into parking mode. And let's see what happens.
Parking recording started.
So now we're going to go drop the voltage, and we're going to find that about 1.5 to 2 minutes later, the dash camera shuts off to protect the battery of the car.
Blackvue for your safe driving. Starting normal recording.
So we're going to go and put the Blackvue into parking mode.
Parking mode on.
And within about 10 seconds, it shuts off very quickly from the low battery protection. However, what happens next is weird.
Powering down.
So it takes another 2 minutes after this before it's drawing any more current from your vehicle. And I think this is just a supercapacitor. So we have the FineVu dash camera now, and we're going to go and put it into parking mode, and so we can see how long it takes.
Intelligence parking mode on.
So the dash camera's in, we drop the voltage, and after exactly 1 minute, the dash camera shuts down. And there you have it. FineVu shuts down after 1 minute in low battery protection. There you have it. Low battery protection on 5 common dash cameras on the market. If you're wondering the 5 different ways you can install a dash camera, please look above. This video here will actually fully explain it. At the end of the day, if you plug your dash camera into a cigarette lighter port and it's constantly on, you will have absolutely no low battery protection, which means there's a good chance you're going to come out to a dead battery in the morning. So it's very important that it is installed in this particular way. And as we showed you, the settings fully backed up how the low battery protection works, and that it will shut off when it drops below a certain set voltage. If you do have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Ben from Safe Drive Solutions, your dash cam specialists. Cheers.